you've ever explored the world of 3D computer graphics, you may have come across the concept of a voxel. As Wikipedia helpfully defines here, a voxel is really a representation of a value on a regular grid in three-dimensional space. Well, so far so Wikipedia, but what does that actually mean? Well, if we cast our minds back to the early 90s, 3D games, particularly of the sort of simulation form, tended to look something like this. This is Microprose's Gunship, which came out in 1991, although the game was actually called Gunship 2000, confusingly. And you can see here that it's using a series of polygons which are being filled in a single colour, and it gives a rudimentary three-dimensional landscape. And to be fair, for 1991, it didn't actually look all that bad. But it didn't look anywhere near as good as Comanche, which came out in 1992, just a year later from Novalogic. Compare and contrast the 3D landscape here, and you would be forgiven for thinking that this was a massive step forward in terms of hardware. But actually, as it turns out, it's really much more to do with the algorithm that underpins it and the use of voxels. Actually, a 3D engine that renders a voxel space is doing something rather clever and actually not doing anything particularly hardware intensive. As you can see here, this open source algorithm for Voxel Space, it says that the Voxel Space engine is rastering the height and color map and drawing vertical lines. And you can kind of see how that works here. It's being sketched out for us in these GIFs here. You can see that this is what's being fed into the engine, and what it's essentially doing is then overlaying a light and shading map and rendering this three-dimensional image using vertical lines. It's really very, very clever, and if you look at the algorithm itself, you can see that the core algorithm, as rendered here in Python, is not particularly long. If you add in a few extra functionalities to be able to move around this landscape, you can see it gets a little bit longer, and there's a few extra performance boosts here, but still, the algorithm, bearing in mind that there's actually some comments in here as well, is still not particularly long. And it's very impressive. We can actually take a look at it here. If I scroll up here, this helpful GitHub repository has a nice web demo. We click into it. You can see this is essentially what you get, which is, yeah, really, really cool. Now, okay, you're probably thinking, what on earth has this got to do with BBC Micros and the Acorn computing scene? Well, if you happen to have seen my video on the recent ABUG South event, you may have heard me reference a certain voxel demo. That voxel demo was produced by none other than Chris Bradburne, who decided that, well, if the code for the algorithm is actually not that complex, maybe it would be possible to do it on a BBC Micro in assembly code. And lo and behold, that's exactly what he's done, and we're going to take a look at it now. Okay, so I'm going to load up the demo disk that Chris has provided on the star.forum. And you can see here it's a Voxel landscape demo, and it's a 32K version. And there are some instructions on how to navigate around the landscape, and also the all-important L key, which actually lets us load many different landscapes to explore. So without further ado, let's dive in. Press any key to start. And here is our initial landscape. And I can move forward through the landscape, and I can pivot up and down, and I can even orient myself as well, facing up and down. Now the landscape itself, as you can see here, the rendering rate for it is relatively slow, but if I draw back the landscape a little bit so that I'm not seeing so much of the landscape, it actually moves along at not too bad a speed. You can see that if we move down, move through the landscape, actually at this level, it looks pretty good. I mean, the use of colours here, you can see exactly what the landscape is supposed to be. You've got your sea and sand here, you've got hills and mountains, snow-capped mountains, and to be fair, bearing in mind that this is running on an 8-bit BBC Micro at its original speed, I think that this is nothing short of groundbreaking. I mean, can you imagine for a moment if you had loaded up a game back in the day that used a Voxel Space engine like this, allowing you to fly over a three-dimensional landscape? I think, honestly, I just think, wow, I can't quite explain just how amazing that would have looked. And bear in mind as well that this is a demo that Chris has put together essentially using the algorithm as it was shared on the original GitHub. And he admitted to me that, of course, there's probably more that you could do with it if you wanted to try and tweak the performance, possibly make use of the second processor in the Beeb. I mean, if you ran this through a Raspberry Pi coprocessor, you definitely get a speed performance boost. But I suspect that there probably are ways of getting it to work a little bit faster. As I say, even by reducing the landscape horizon, as I've done here, you can already see that it moves along really, really nicely. Now I'm going to pause and just try loading another landscape just to kind of see some examples of different landscapes that you can get. And if I use the H key, you can see that it renders all the way across into the distant horizon, and you can move through that landscape. As I say, it does get a little bit slower the more of the landscape that you reveal, but I don't know, I'm blown away by this, honestly. I just think it's so clever and so elegant as well, because having seen, the code, I mean, I know Python relatively well. And all right, yes, Python definitely benefits from a certain amount of mathematical functions that are just pre-built into the language. And Chris will have had to have done quite a lot of maths to get that rendered in 6502. But still, this just looks amazing. Truly amazing. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit here because this was something Chris did when he was showing it to me. And I'm just going to tweak the speed of my emulator ever so slightly. So I'm going to put it into double speed just to show you that once it's in double speed, if we just tweak back the landscape a little bit and move along, I mean, it really does look so smooth. In fact, if I just nudge up the speed a little bit more, I know I am cheating here and you wouldn't be able to get away with this on a real Beeb, but just look at it. I mean, the way that it renders the landscape as you fly across it is just so clever. I really, really love it. And I think part of what makes it so impressive is just the elegance of the underlying algorithm, to know that really all you're having to pass in is a texture map, a color map and a texture map. That's essentially what you're giving it. And then it just renders the rest of it with vertical lines. And it's so clever. And obviously, as Chris has done here, he's provided a whole set of different landscapes that you could use to explore. You can go up and down. And I think it's so clever. And all right, as he freely admits, this is a demo at the moment, but I mean, he showed this to ZeroXCode at the ABUG event, and I mean, you can imagine what kind of ideas were firing off in his head. And I mean, let's face it, Chris himself is an expert game developer, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if he's having some thoughts now about how he might be able to fit this into a fully fledged game. But even as a demo, I just think that this is absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend that you go and download it from the Star.forum. As I say, it's freely available on the Star.forum as a disk image. You can load it up in an emulator, as I've done here, or if you want to, as I have also done, you can stick it on a pen drive and pop it into your Gotek and get it loaded up on a real Beeb. But yeah, it's just great fun to just fly around the landscape and really enjoy the feel of it. And to know that it's, as I say, being rendered on a BBC Micro, 32K of memory from a 1981 machine on a 6502 processor is just incredible. So there you go. That is the Voxel Space demo by Chris Bradburne, which I cannot recommend more highly. I think it's just wonderful, and do check it out. I hope you've enjoyed that, and you'll join me for the next episode of Bits and Bytes. And until then, goodbye.